I just wanted to give a tip to anybody who might need it on efficiently doing yard work, making the most out of every motion you make. So the entire perimeter of our yard looked like this a year ago. And with the amount of land we have, there's no way I'm going to get rid of it all in 1 year. So last year what I did, I spent 2 hours a day, because it's pretty back-breaking work, and I pulled ivy from this area, right here. And this area here was all overgrown, and then made my path. So this year, I've weed whacked that down, and you can only get it down so far before you start hitting branches and you start eating up your spool. So the game now is just to keep the green away with the weed whacker until I can get through and actually start picking the sticks out. But what you do is you set up multiple stations throughout the property. So we've got this station here, and I'll take a wheelbarrow and I'll fill it up with whatever debris. And if it's green, it shouldn't be burned because it's going to smoke a lot. So if it's green, it comes over here to the compost. If it's dry, it comes over here to the bonfire. And then once I've made it this far, I come over here to where I had standing up work. So what I like to do is I have stand up work, and then I had bend over work, so that I can take breaks from using different muscles. This here was a stump that I've been using hand trimmers and clippers, and then when I got down to the bottom finally I used a little electric chainsaw. So I've just been trimming all the ivy back and the blackberries that were wrapped around this barely lifeless kind of viney tree. It was a lot like that guy there. So I just spent the last hour and a half or so just clipping back a foot, clipping back a foot, clipping back a foot, and you just keep doing it. And then when I get green, I throw my green pile over there, I put my burn pile over here. When one of them gets full, I load it up, and then I head back the other direction. And on my way back, I'll pick up something from the other area that I might visit on the way. So, for example, if I had a green pile, I'd be coming over here to dump the green. Well, earlier in the day, I'd set up a separate workstation where I'd gone through with the clippers and cut down a bunch of branches that were burnable, and I just let them lie. So I would dump off my green to compost and then turn around with the wheelbarrow, pick up the burnables on my way back to go to this area, and then just grab a handful and drop them off at the fire, and then take my wheelbarrow back so that I'm working 2 stations at once with the same trip. You can get so much more work done in a day if you sit down and spend 15 minutes mapping out a strategy on how you can get the most done with every step. So the other thing I did today was I had 2 workstations here where this was all ivy, and similar situation, that tree had still grown over on this side, and the blackberries and the ivy was using it as scaffolding to reach for the sky. And then all this was low growing type stuff. So I had the same sort of setup. This was hand clippers down on squatting position and just pulling and pulling, and occasionally get the weed whacker out and do a run through just to kind of mulch everything up so it was easier to grab. And then had my stand-up area where I could take a break and hand cut stuff back, and then when it got down low enough I just beat the hell out of it with the weed whacker again. And now I know that I've got so many different stations going on, I'm not going to be able to come back to all of them before nature starts taking over and trying to put up new greens. So I've got these tarps spread throughout the property, where once I make progress on an area, I tarp it down and deprive it of sunlight so that all the work I'm doing doesn't get undone while I'm off somewhere else fighting it back. This stuff grows so fast. I weed eated all this again today because I'd done it last week, and my tarps are already in use, and I was already seeing fresh shoots that were 1.5 inches tall, and I was already starting to lose my progress. So I know it may sound like common sense, but sometimes you just get excited to do a project and you dive in and you realize halfway through that you've wasted 2 hours of your day, and it was not wasted at the time. You didn't think about the fact that while you're walking from here back to here, you could be grabbing the stuff that was there. That it feels like a separate project. That's done on a different time frame. Well, no, you can combine all your trips and get twice as much work done in a day. And if time is important, that can be handy. That's going to be 2 hours tonight that I can quit early and save my back and go do something else that's productive in the house. So that's my little rant. Hope it helps. Thank you for watching.